time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
We're not laughing as much as previous episodes. I apologize.
Are we supposed to be? Well,
I don't know.
And now the conclusion.
The wormhole does bring them our way, doesn't it?
Everyone wants a piece of the new frontier.
And I'm sure you've already tried to sell it to a few.
You don't know what any of this is about, do you? You just don't get it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Audio Umox. I hope your lobes are ready. I am host number one, John Christopher, and I am joined by my good friend...
Number two!
the big number two, Simon Van
Gil. Who does number two work for?
So when we last spoke...
Sorry, I don't know why that was so funny. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So when we last spoke, my friend, you were getting ready to dip your pole in the water.
Yeah,
so how did that go?
Episode 15. I was gonna get my pole wet, and it went fine. Caught my limit. Did well.
Dangling involved.
There was some dangling over the promenade, and the fish were biting. But more than anything else, it was to me. Honestly, I'll be straight up with you. I enjoy fishing because it gets me out of the city and away from people and things and devices. I love to eat fresh fish. I love to catch a fish, gut it, and eat it within 30 minutes. I love to be sitting on the shore and eating a fish I pulled out of there like half an hour ago. It doesn't get any fresher than that unless I were just to just start chewing on it like a Sasquatch as soon as I catch it. Which, hey, I do like sushi.
Yeah.
But more than anything, it was just an opportunity to experience nature. And actually, you know what? It's not to experience nature. It's actually sounds so misanthropic. It's to experience the lack of humanity. And that sounds really awful, but I don't mean it that way. I just mean I live in the middle of the city. Mm-hmm. Seriously, you hear buses run by my house. You hear police. You hear people walking by. I don't live in a tenement in a brownstone in New York City, but I live in a pretty major metro area, and I hear people constantly. And just to be out, actually, I may have said this before, previous fishing trips in the middle of the night, it's so quiet, or even with the sound of insects, it's so quiet, I have to listen to a podcast to get to sleep.
Sure, yeah.
But I'll take that. And that's what I did this time, and it was great. And so thanks for asking.
Awesome.
It was great. It was good.
Sure.
But I still had time to check out this episode. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say I have a fishing confession in that I grew up in a very rural area, as you know.
I spent 2 weeks there.
I have never caught a large fish. I've caught some fish that had to be returned, but growing up, most of the fishing expeditions I went on with family were the guys would load up the trucks, the kids would sit in the back of the trucks, which thank God that is no longer legal.
We did that too.
We would drive to we would drive to a pond somewhere. It was usually on someone's farm, and would throw poles into the water and drink. That was I don't even remember them baiting the hooks. Although we did occasionally have fish when it was over. I never caught a fish. And some of it, admittedly, is my lack of patience. I probably didn't let the hooks stay in the water long enough to do anything. But this was mainly catfish, stocked farm pond kind of fishing. It wasn't fly or any river fishing. It was pond fishing, and I've never caught a big fish. So that's actually a bucket list item for me, is to catch a big fish.
My brother, I did not know that. And,
Yeah.
you know, if ever we can somehow make it work, it would be such a treat. And like, there's a dude I go with. He's a buddy of mine here in town. He's always about bringing people along. And,
Right.
of course, you'd be the new guy, so you'd have to be initiated like I was, which is not that big a deal.
Yeah.
They just make fun of you about it. Yeah.
You eat the guts and eyes. And
No,
stuff.
no, God, no.
That is a delicacy in China.
I'm sure. Oh,
That's
you had to say eyes, please. Oh.
The cheek muscle.
No, I don't
is
mind the cheek. Like,
tender.
I'll eat the cheek out of like a pig or whatever. I'm fine with that. But
this
the
is the cheek
eyeballs, I can't
fish.
do. I can't do that. I can't do the eyeball thing. But no,
Right.
no. I mean, my last trip, I never fly fished before. Dry fly. You know, not with bait. Just you're using it's your skill with the pole. Guy worked with me for like 45 minutes, and then I pulled out a rainbow. And
All right.
I mean, wow.
Tasted the rainbow, right?
I tasted the rainbow. It was delish. Anyway, well, that's good. I'm glad we're gonna figure that out for you, my friend.
All right.
Definitely.
That's good.
And I guess I'll have to. Then that means I'll have to like do the thing you've done, which is jump out of perfectly good airplanes.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
We both have a 0 birthday coming soon, so that might be a.
You know, my
opportune
wife
time.
is not thrilled with that idea. She's very concerned. But you know, I'll do it.
She can go. She can go with.
Yeah, right. But you don't doubt for a moment that I do it, do you? I mean, I'll do it. I would. Do you doubt it? I mean, you're looking.
I don't doubt.
Oh,
it.
okay. I thought you were like, yeah, I don't think you have the nerve.
I think
would
you'd do it.
But I mean, every time I bring it up with my wife, it's like she does not want me to do it. She thinks it's crazy.
So do you have the life insurance?
Well, sure, but does it cover skydiving? I don't know.
It should. It should. Skydiving without opening the parachute, I probably would not be covered.
That rider that I've got added there should be removed. Probably.
but yeah, I would think. I don't know. You'd have to check with your insurance agent, and
Right.
so.
All right. Well,
Anyway, go do it.
It's on my list.
There
There's really not a hell of a lot of things like that on my list that are left. I mean, I've done a lot of things, and but skydiving is one I'd like to do. I don't think I'll ever get my pilot's license. I always thought I'd do that. I don't have the money or time to do that. But I was always interested in having not instrument rated, even just a daytime pilot's like a Cessna during the day. I'd love to be able to like hop in the plane here and fly down to see my folks. You know, instead of a 6.5.
Come see me.
Or come see you.
There's an executive airport not too far away. Yeah.
There's one right by me too. Yeah, I mean, gosh, a flight, it would take 40 minutes maybe between you and me, and a flight to my parents would take maybe an hour and a half tops. It would have been great, but you know, I don't. Anyway, so
Anticipate that happening.
that's on my list. But I mean, I've done some other great, wonderful, crazy stuff. So I'm excited about it. Sometime, you know what, we'll do our bucket list episode with the things we've done and things.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll make some progress.
But first, the trunk.
Okay, I'll start this time if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I am enjoying. I'm shaking it up a little this time for real. I not having much of it tonight, but I'm having a nice take the edge off Thursday night prior to going into Friday martini. But it's not a variation on the Vesper. It is actually a dry vermouth and unfortunately cheaper vodka martini. Yeah, I'm skimping a little right now.
I can't do that. I get the hangovers.
Oh,
I get the headache. I get a headache.
I will pay for it tomorrow. So I'm just having a basic cheap vodka with a little vermouth and some olives even. They're not stuffed though.
So I heard a rumor that you could run cheap vodka through a Brita charcoal water filter and it would improve the flavor. Is that?
I've tried it. All I can say is it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
I think you're just better off buying just a better quality. Like, though, guess what? I bought some Pierre Marcel vodka. Have you seen that?
He's that mime guy, right?
Yeah. Well, he was with Momenchance, and then No, there's
Marceau.
Right. There was something called Pierre Marcel, I believe. So okay. You and I both have talked about this previously in person with each other. we're both Costco members, and at Costco
Yes.
they have like the premium Costco Kirkland brand, which if you go on the internet, they'll tell you
People believe it's from the Grey Goose people.
Yeah, and okay, so I go to Mike's Liquor, my local liquor store, and they have 2 locations to serve you in this area. And there's Mike himself, the owner, and he knows my face, and they got this big, like 20 cases of this Pierre Marcel. And it's in a bottle exactly like the premium Costco brand, except it's got a label that says Pierre Marcel.
Okay.
And I pick it up and I read it, and it says product of France. And Mike yells at me, "Hey, listen, you should try that." And it was on sale, by the way. It was a big, huge bottle, cheap, like $24 for a big, not like a fifth. It's bigger than a fifth.
Like a half gallon.
Yeah, and it's shaped, that really cool.
2/5 probably.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what they have?
What? Yeah. And so I go and I said, well, this looks, come on, is this headache juice? Because I don't need that. I mean, I got burned once by Blake Shelton's Tractor vodka. Jeez, oh Pete, that's horrible.
Tractor vodka?
Oh my! Have you seen Blake Shelton's?
Why would you do that?
Well, Blake Shelton's vodka. And
Does he filter them through his Gildan underpants?
Ugh, he probably filters it through a tractor. But anyway, no. I remember when it first came out, they're like, "Oh, try it, Blake Shelton's vodka, blah blah," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah, I had the worst headache from that shit. It's awful. It's garbage.
Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
like it's lighter fluid. Anyway, so I get the Pierre Marcel. I haven't tried it yet, but the guy's like, "Listen." He goes, "You come here all the time. I'm not going to tell you something that's going to give you a hangover in a bad way, And I trust Mike, so I've been going there. I've lived here 10 years. I've been going there for almost 10 years. I mean, we're talking. This guy sees me at least, well, a lot. Anyway, so I got that. Actually, I'll let you know. But it's pretty good, pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Something that's interesting too. I just as a tangent, real quick. I got a buddy in Canada, and he used to work with the liquor authorities in Canada. I don't know how that works. It's different than here. But what we think is garbage here, they think is premium there. They think Smirnoff is really high quality vodka there.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I don't think Smirnoff is very good.
No, that's kind of middle shelf.
It's middle shelf. It's not garbage, but it's
right. It's not in a plastic bottle.
Well, you can get it in a plastic bottle. I know because I took it on my river trip last weekend. But you know what? When you're in the middle, you don't bring glass on the river, and you just take what you can get. And Smirnoff is out of the plastic bottles. That's your premium. Well, anyway, it's like my buddy up in Canada. He's all like, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Well, what about they don't happen to think Grey Goose is particularly great. They don't think Chopin and all those."
Tito's up there yet?
No,
it's probably just in the U.S.
because it's Texas. It's an Austin, Texas brand. At least he didn't know of it. He's in Saskatchewan. Yeah. But I love Tito's. I think it's quite good. I think my favorite vodka, and I don't fall for
like Chopin, Kettle One.
I like all those premium ones. I think Absolute is basically all marketing. I think it's a decent vodka, but not great. And the price
nice bottle.
The bottle's cool. The price has kind of come down to earth too, if you've noticed.
It has.
Remember in the late '80s and early '90s, it was the thing, and but you were paying for that marketing. Is what you were paying for.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Chopin is good. I think Grey Goose. I've never had a problem with. Kettle One is quite good. I don't buy those typically. Typically what I buy, although I'm diametrically opposed to everything the Russians stand for. I buy Stoli. I think Stoli is Stolichnaya is my favorite vodka. What about you?
I really like Tito's as just a good mid-priced, clean, flavorful vodka brand.
No hangover.
Yeah, if I want to go super premium, back to it's probably marketing. It's Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull.
Well, we love we love that. Both of us too. That's quite good.
Still, it is very good. But you're paying for a very nice bottle as well. Yeah. And then the Grey Goose, the Kettle One. I don't do much Chopin. It's just a little overpriced. $50 for some vodka. I understand it with whiskeys. Things that are aged, but for vodka, by definition, it's supposed to have no flavor and no taste. So to pay that much money for something that I struggle with that. Well,
we're here to get people drunk. or whatever the line from It's a Wonderful Life.
This is Martini's place.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go see if I can dig that drop in up. If
All
I
right.
can't, this is what you get.
Very
people.
good.
Well, but the last
okay.
thing I'll say real quick. This is you should hear this. To what you said, Mike, the owner of the liquor store. He goes because they keep the Grey Goose behind the counter. At this liquor store. It's like you can't even pull it off. He's got to get it before he goes. We talk about this Pierre Marcel or whatever. He goes, look. He points. Gosh, I don't know if I'm not getting him in trouble. He goes. But anyway, he points with his thumb back. He goes, yeah, this is as good as that stuff, but I don't have to pay the distributor and the middleman and the marketing price for it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And,
That's great.
he was just, I'm just thinking, he's taking care of me as a customer, but doesn't it, I don't know, maybe to him, maybe he gets the same amount of money for selling a bottle of this cheaper stuff as he does for the other stuff.
He might, and if you're a regular, he's also, he doesn't want to, he won't steer you wrong. He wants you to be a happy repeat customer. So
that would be me.
Yeah.
Well, we've made some progress here then with the Tranya, haven't we?
Sure. Oh, I'm just drinking very cold vodka with a little bit of olive brine just to take the edge off, as always.
Is it Tito's?
As often.
Is it Tito's?
It is Tito's.
Very
it is
cold,
Tito's.
very
I buy it by the half gallon. If they had a gallon jug, I would probably buy that as well.
Well, they do have the one with the handle. Is that the half gallon?
That's a half gallon, yeah. Or
By the
two.
way,
It's either 2/5 or a half gallon, yeah.
6 of one, half dozen the other. It occurs to me, by the way, this is our last episode before we see each other, isn't it?
I believe you're right.
You're going to be here next week, right?
And that is correct.
Because you are coming to my territory because your team is playing my team on our turf.
Yes.
How you feeling about it, buddy?
I'm a little nervous after a couple weeks ago, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see. Any given Sunday,
Yeah, it's true. And although your QB, his road record is not good.
It's not. Although he plays better against good teams than he does against poor teams.
That's good.
And so he will be playing a good team. So,
damn it.
So we'll see.
Well,
we'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. I am somewhat expecting the worst.
I don't know, but
I have not.
My team has crapped the bed with your guys plenty of times, so I don't know. It's like my team is rated very good right now, but
they are.
I don't know. It's like you said, any given Sunday. You guys could roll into town and come into our incredible stadium, and then we just crap all over ourselves. It could happen.
It happens.
Oh, God.
So we'll see. But regardless, it'll be fun. It'll be great seeing you and the family, and
that's the best
and
part.
we'll hang out, we'll drink, we'll
eat too.
Smoke some butt.
We're gonna have some brisket. I'm gonna make. Well, your wife likes.
That's right.
The brisket, so I'm gonna make her brisket.
She's
not a pork
She likes
person.
to eat the beef. Yeah.
Well, she can eat my beef, and I'm going to smoke it for her. I'm telling you. Now,
Very good.
I guess you need to bring your flag down just in case too.
I actually need to buy a flag. I don't have a flag.
Do I need? I was going to say, do I need to buy one if I lose myself or?
No. I'll buy one, and then
if
you
we
have one.
and if we win,
so
I will give
win,
you.
I take your team's flag back, and I will fly it for
a month.
And if my team wins, then you'll do the same. There we go.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do. I honor my bets, man.
True.
Well, it used to be we'd buy each other booze, but it's just like, I don't know.
And it's gotten a little expensive the last couple.
Yeah, because you've won the past couple, you asshole. My God. You're like, and I'd like a bottle of Napoleon brandy from 1864. And I'm like, damn it, you son of a... Anyway, it's all in good fun. It's all
Yeah.
good fun. We'll move on from the Tranya then, and
Okay.
I guess we should get to progress, shall we?
Let us shall.
Let's progress
So,
to progress.
so this episode is, it's another one of those, you've got two subplots running in parallel. This time they never touch each other. The first one is Quark is angry that, who was it? It's Nog's dad.
Rom.
Ordered like 5,000
Rapages.
I don't know what that is. It's got to be a bunch of
Yamek
Cardassian
sauce.
Yamek
Dude,
sauce.
I think a rapage, you know what that is? It's like a packet of ketchup.
But 5,000 ketchup packets, that's not very much.
Oh.
I wouldn't think. I
Well,
mean, you could fit a.
Well,
It's.
yeah.
I mean, it's more than he's going to use, obviously. But I mean, it's not like he's lost a fortune. And he's telling Rom, he's going to be taking half of his salary for the next 6 years. So either this stuff is super premium Yamek sauce, or this is just a crap ton of Yamek sauce. Wouldn't you think?
I guess. I think it also gets back to just that to Quark, any bit of money lost is a big deal.
True.
I don't know. I'm just surmising.
Yeah. I don't know either. Okay, so we have that line. That's the one that turns into the Barter Kings thing, where Jake and Nog decide that they're going to try and, one, I think, help Nog's dad out, but two, they think that they could make some profit selling this stuff that Quark wants to just get rid of.
Right.
So they go through. So I'm just going to run this whole thing down. They find someone to take the Yamek sauce, but he doesn't have any money, but he does have these self-sealing stem bolts. They think they can get them to sell them to Miles, but Miles doesn't even know what a self-sealing stem bolt is, which I'm going to call bullshit on. The guy's an engineer. I would think he could figure out what these things are. They track down the guy who originally ordered the self-sealing stem bolts, and he doesn't have any money either, but he was willing to trade him a piece of land for the self-sealing stem bolts. So they make that exchange under a fake company name, and then at the end of the episode you find out that that piece of property is extremely valuable, that the government wants to buy it for some reason, and 3 of the 4 owners of the land have given up their rights, and there's one remaining holdout, and it turns out it's the Jake and Nog Consortium, or whatever the hell they called their called their company, and so they get their, I'm assuming they get their 5 bars of gold pressed latinum, which I have no idea how much money that is. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it must be quite a bit.
Right.
And so that's it. That was that half of the episode.
Well, just remember when a lobe tingles,
an angel gets its way.
Well, I mean, the last episode when their legs dangled over the promenade, and then this
now
episode,
their lobes are tingling.
Yeah,
and did one of those episodes, there was a rule of acquisition thrown out there? We probably should have covered it.
Oh, I meant to kind of start doing that, but I haven't.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Tell you what, they write a good episode, I'll remember.
Got it. So, do you know what this reminded me of? There was an old Warner Brothers episode with the chicken hawk. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so he's trying to trade things off to different people in order to get, I think he was trying to get the foghorn leghorn.
Right. That's right, yeah.
So and he's bartering with the cat and the dog and and then, they finally get foghorn leghorn and he's got him in a barrel, and
they do one late in the series, by the way, where there's another one with with Nog and Jake. It's much more like Radar on MASH, trying to, he would barter.
and trade.
Remember how he
and-
bartered like 20 things to get
Yeah,
Colonel Potter his tomato juice, and then he tomato juice, then Potter drinks and goes, I can't drink this. I'm allergic to it. I forgot last time I had it. And Radar's like, oh, but it's like,
geez.
yeah, but there's like one with Cisco's desk coming up. down the
right,
road.
right.
So yeah, definitely. So
Okay,
that's that plot.
So
But the
that's
other
fine.
plot
So
is,
we got that. That's the. I'm assuming comic relief. Some of it maybe a little character
allegedly,
development.
yeah, a little.
Some of it is Nog showing he's got the lobes and is not just a snot-nosed kid. He's has a natural talent that is worthy of Quark mentoring, that kind of thing. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part one. Part two is the meat of the show,
Right.
which is there's a moon
Over Bourbon Street tonight.
over Bajor tonight.
Got it.
And apparently it is volcanically active, or it does have a heated core, and
like all planets. I mean,
but this isn't a planet. This is a moon.
a moon that people can inhabit, and they're going to basically strip mine this moon to power people's houses.
They're
back
just
on
going to
Bajor.
drill down into it. Yeah,
But it's going to
they're
render the moon uninhabitable.
correct.
And people live on it, and you get to it, and it's like a verdant, pretty moon that this dude named Shinerbock is farming.
Right. But there's only like 9 people left there.
Well,
So they're
by all
saying
means,
the
destroy the moon.
needs of the many
Oh, all right.
is what they're saying.
I agree.
I would think, yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I agree that that's what they're saying, but I don't think it's right.
Yeah, I would tend to concur. Why don't they just put a bunch of damn solar panels up? You would think solar panel technology would be pretty efficient.
Could power a couple
the next
100,000
floor.
homes on Bajor, yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
you put
there's
up,
this
you
thing
could put up
called
a solar
nuclear, and it may not be the cleanest thing, but nuclear is certainly better than rendering an inhabited planet, a moon or not, uninhabitable.
How about plasma?
Well, I invented something just a minute
warp,
ago. Did you hear that? Or?
the warp technology. I'm sure you could generate a lot of heat based on that as well.
I think what we're doing here is falling for it. We're arguing basically lazy writing premise.
Got it.
The writers should have had a better reason that the planet had to be evacuated than we're going to drill into the core and make it into a power plant. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be different if it was like the moon that orbits Earth. It's just a rock. I mean, if they could find something on it, drilling into it that would power Puerto Rico, that God knows they need power, I'm all for it. But it's
absolutely, yeah.
But it's not like they're putting, Uncle Bill from, Family Affair out on his ass.
Yeah, true.
You don't even start with Sebastian Cabot.
Miss Beasley.
No, Mrs. Beasley was the doll.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you said
doll.
Sebastian Cabot was playing Beasley.
No.
He played
Mrs. Beasley is
who did Sebastian
creepily
Cabot?
staring at you.
Yeah, who did Cabot play? What was the name of his character?
I don't know. It wasn't like some.
The butler.
He was the butler or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Sebastian Cabot as...
I was pretty young when that show was on.
And I wasn't. You're older than me. I'm trying to remember though. Sebastian. I'm gonna see.
I just remember my older sister had one of those Mrs. Beasley dolls, and it creeped me out as much as the clowns on it. It's.
Your sister really had a Mrs. Beasley.
Yeah, with the little wire glasses and the vacant air. Yeah, it was kind of creepy.
Oh wow.
I couldn't sleep around that thing.
Oh, Mr. French.
Mr. French, that's right. Didn't he get a spinoff as well?
He did?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So we digress. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, listeners. We've gone off on a tangent.
Yeah, that's interesting about that show.
Tangent. After they determine that this planet's got to go, they're about ready to fire up the plant and drill into the surface when they realize that there's a couple of life forms down there, and so they decide that they're going to go down and check it out, get these people evacuated because they were probably rural people and just didn't get the warning, is what their assumption is. So they go on down and.
Well, Kira's just like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Because that's where she and Dax are in the runabout, and Dax is like going, Morn, actually, those somewhat pubic hairs that are jutting from his forehead are kind of
are so cute.
Yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as Captain Baudet, who she dates later in the series, who has an clear skull.
Oh yeah.
You can see the man's brains, and it's like Kira's like makes his face like, hey, how can you eat around him?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Captain Bidet.
Captain Bidet. But she's flush with excitement for Bidet. Anyway, so she gets out of the planet, and all of a sudden she's got a pitchfork brigade after her.
Yeah, you've got the 3 mutes or 2 mutes.
Is it possible the 2 Utes?
2 what? What was that word?
What word?
2 what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes.
What is a Ute?
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. 2 youths.
Okay, so there's this old man and a couple of helpers, and they don't want to leave.
I think they're neighbors. They're not helpers. They're neighbors.
Are they neighbors?
Yeah,
I thought they lived with him. I thought they were assistants.
They might work his farm, but they have a cottage down the road. But yeah, you're right.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, this guy here, Shinerbock, and he's got the 2 mute helpers, the 2 mutes.
Yes, he's not going to go, and he keeps procrastinating. And Kira is very strangely, I think, accommodating to him.
I don't think it's strange.
No,
because this is a guy who escaped the Cardassian
prisons camps.
Yeah, and she was a resistance fighter, and he resisted in his own way. He escaped and the occupation, and he built a life for himself on this moon. And she's very much pro Bajoran and pro anybody who stood up to the Cardassians and made a life for themselves. So I don't think it's strange that she finds him, that she warms up to him rather quickly, and he's somewhat charming.
Kind of like grandfatherly
Well, he kind of makes jokes about her ass and I mean all that stuff, but he's trying to piss her off and see if it'll get rid of her, and it doesn't work. And I think she finds that strangely endearing, but I don't think it's strange that she overall likes him on balance. But anyway, so
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And she does have a nice way about her. So there you go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So okay, so he boils up some roots they eat together. I mean, they continue.
Great scene. Great scene.
Yeah, they
Isn't Brian Keith just effortless though with that kind of stuff?
Oh, he is.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Did you doubt for a minute that he fully inhabited that character? Did you look at him and go, "That's Uncle Bill"? No, I just looked at him and said, "This is Shinerbock. This is this farmer.
Right.
These roots are real." He moves so easily through that set. Anyway. I'm sorry to go on, but Brian Keith was one of those actors that just effortlessly inhabited a role, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I would agree with that. And the other thing I would, if I had one issue, it would be he seemed very resigned to whatever fate is dealt. I would have thought he would have been a bit more of a fighter, more curt. But I think he was just resigned that I'm staying, I'm going, I'm dying. Whatever life deals.
I don't know. Too old, too tired.
Maybe, but if he's truly too old, too tired, then he would have just gone.
Well,
and eventually he did, I guess.
After
she put her foot down,
and she put her phaser down, basically. I think too old, too tired, but he was at least going to be as game as he could. I think he was resigned to the fact that he was not physically able to fight her off at this point, or fight off the whole Bajoran power structure. But okay, I see your point. I don't completely agree, but I see it. So I get you.
Okay, very good, very good. So I mean, there's a lot of back and forth, and the gist of this entire back and forth, her discussion with Cisco, her really basically going AWOL, and he allows her, he gives her some latitude there, but kind of forces her to make a decision. Is all about her coming to terms with her old old fighter self.
Yeah.
Because she is no longer the resistance. She is now.
She's the man.
She's the man. She's part of the government now. So and she has to come to terms with that and accept the responsibility and the responsibilities that go along with that, and has to accept the the negative stuff that goes along with that as well.
Fair enough.
So
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So talks him into, after really having to give him an ultimatum,
Yeah.
him leaving. And I'm assuming that he left. I'm assuming that Nog and that Quark gets a good deal on that land, and that Nog and Jake get paid, because there is no bow at the end. But you can assume that those two things occurred.
Well, and I mean, not to be too pat about it. I mean, Shinerbock goes, but only after Kira has to draw her weapon and destroy the kiln. The kiln became this unfinished kiln became this metaphor for whether he would stay or go, and unfinished business.
Right.
And it was like, as long as that kiln still to be worked on, this guy psychologically was still attached to the land. And so she's just like, at first she wanted to help him build it, and then she realized, oh my God, this is an anchor.
Right.
And so she's like, I'm going to destroy it, and then
and burn your house down, by the way.
And I'm
you forgot to get your pictures? Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that I thought, that was kind of an asshole, because it was just like, well, let the guy get pictures of his. But you know what? He actually didn't have anything, because he came there with nothing, and whatever he had there. I mean, we're picking nits, and he's like, if I leave here, I'll die. And she says, no, you won't. I won't let you. And then she's like, two to beam up.
Yeah.
But we're also missing the fact that Cisco came down and basically kicked her in the butt and said, look, I really didn't like you at first, but I do, and I respect you. And if you keep indulging this guy, it's gonna F up your career. And I'd hate to see that happen. I don't want to break in a new first officer. He just, he just nudged her the direction she knew she needed to go anyway, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. That was some good leadership on his part.
Yeah.
Now the one thing that I thought would happen that didn't happen, that would have crossed the streams, would have been if that piece of land is where he could have resettled. But that didn't happen.
Would have been too perfect.
Yeah.
But wow, I had not thought of that, but wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's really good. Oh shit. Of course, if I had written that, everybody would have been like, oh, come on. But you know what? I love
predictable.
it. I love it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it. That's really good. Oh my God. That's really great. No, I agree. I think too, by the way, we got to see glimmers of the Cisco of Christmas future. We got to see.
Yeah, well, I think his leadership style, you see bits and pieces of it.
Right.
The one thing I didn't like was his talking about her behind her back.
Yeah.
To Julian.
Yeah.
That
of all
scene,
people.
that scene in particular, I thought did not exhibit his leadership style. His leadership style is collaborative, but is one that is a very relationship oriented, and a good leader. If they have a problem, an issue with a person, they address it with that person, not with someone else.
He
and
seemed
so
a little Weasley.
Yeah, because that's the last thing I would want to do or find out, is that my boss, my commander, was talking bad about me to one of my peers.
Yeah.
So anyway, setting that aside, the rest of it, his direct contact with her, the way he led her to make a good choice, and the way he instilled confidence, I thought was good. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's probably a lot of nuance in this episode. There's a lot more than there was in the last episode we did.
Yes.
That we could talk, the storyteller. But that we were missing. But in the interest of time and moving along, we're trying to keep the show below an hour anyway. So I'll just say, first question: was there any deep sex nine for you in this one? Anything kind of alluring or romantic or hot or anything?
Okay, so alluring. Kira definitely looked quite fetching when she took the jacket off and she was wearing those super high-waisted pants.
And that kind of a lattice work top.
Yeah. So, but I mean, obviously that scene had nothing sexual, but you could tell that the purpose of that particular outfit, her taking the jacket off, was a very 90s draw.
I didn't see it that way.
Trekkies in.
I just thought that she was I saw that as her, because she was getting sweaty. She was getting to work. And I really didn't see it as being like a big her physique kind of scene. I really didn't. And maybe I'm wrong. No, she has a lovely physique. And
she does.
But she still does, by the way, 20 plus years later. I didn't quite see it that way. But I did. You know what? We'll take some hate mail for this. I enjoyed the view.
Sure.
View. She has lovely arms and she looked great. I'd love to be able to say the same about a male actor on the show, but a couple episodes back, I did remark on what a handsome man Cisco is. So just everybody stay calm here. And I said I'd like to look like him, which I would. So everybody stay calm. So yeah, my deep sex nine would be it. And just the funny comments from Dax made about actually considering dating Morn. I thought
Morn,
kind of interesting. So
that was funny.
That was good. Okay, Bars of Latinum. If you don't mind, I'll go first on the.
Please do.
I'm going to give this one a solid 2.5 bars of gold press Latinum. I thought
2.5. So not about half as much as the value of the Yamek sauce.
The storyteller one, I gave 1.5. I just thought, dreadful.
That's like 2 packets of Yamek sauce.
And by the way, I give this episode, most of those, 2 of the 2.5 goes to Brian Keith and Nana Visitor for their acting. I thought that those scenes worked very well. This is a good setup for an episode that's coming in a few more episodes down the road called Duet, where if you think Nana Visitor's decent in this, you're going to be blown away by what she does with the actor Harris Yulin in an episode called Duet coming down the road, which is, by the way, one of my all-time favorite episodes of Star Trek. I've seen it a dozen times, and
very good.
That's why I lose patience with some of these other episodes that I think are just not very good. When I see something as good as what's coming up, Duet. In fact, I'll shut up because I need to wait and save it for when we watch that episode. Duet is probably, in my opinion, the best episode of the first season, so I'm really excited for that one. But I'm going to give that. But I will also say that I did kind of enjoy the antics of the No Gay consortium. That was interesting. I think there's a criminal misuse of Dax and O'Brien in these episodes, but I think they did the same thing to Kira for a few episodes too. They kind of just shunted her off to be a side player. And I know going forward, of course, that they use everybody quite well, so I should kind of get off my high horse about that. But I'm 2.5.
Yeah, when you have an ensemble cast of 7 key characters.
Yeah, you're right.
At least 8.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Cisco, Odo, Quark, Nog, Jake,
Dax, O'Brien,
Kira. That's 8.
And then you have recurring characters like Garrick, who we're due for a visit from soon, and Keiko and Kai Wynn, and so you're right. It's a large group, and it's just some characters.
It's tough in the first season to really know who's who, and
and who people want to see more of. But you know what's interesting?
Right.
You know what? After you listed all those characters, I love them all.
Sure.
I'll be honest, like the Next Generation, I was like, if I have another freaking Worf Klingon episode, which by the way, unfortunately Deep Space Nine goes that direction, I'm gonna die. I'm just like, I can't stand this. Like, please no more Wesley episodes. Please no more Worf episodes.
And Data wants to be a real boy.
Oh God, or hey, I'm Data, the most incredible machine ever created, and I'm gonna turn on you about every other season. Am I right? How many times?
True.
And it's like, why would we keep this guy around? He's like a toaster that electrocutes you. He's got to go.
Turn him off. You know where the switch is.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's what you
said.
So what about you? How many?
I think that's a fair assessment. I would say somewhere between 2 and 3, two and a half. Yeah, 2.5 stars. I did like the some of that interaction on the planet. Like I said, I thought it would have been more adversarial, but given your description, that certainly makes sense. That he is him being, old, worn out, tired of the fight, and he probably sees some of himself in Kira.
Yeah.
Anyway, so given that, I could see where he would, scale back the crankiness factor. But I think heartfelt, and she continues to struggle with this transition from being the freedom fighter / terrorist to being part of the establishment, which she is, and so kind of highlighting that, I thought I think it's an interesting direction for the writers to explore. So
I agree. I think you make a good point, and this is a story that needed to be explored, and it gets further exploration as the series goes on. But this, by the way, I remember this distinctly. I just told you that Duet, which is coming up in 2 or 3 more episodes, is my favorite. But I remember watching this show first run. This was my favorite episode to date when I first started watching it, believe it or not. I mean, of course, you look back, that's really not that tough a deal, because frankly, outside of Emissary, the opening pilot, it's pretty uneven.
There were not a lot of high points.
No, the episode Garrick was in, yes, that was pretty good, but you had not a lot of high points. You're right. So this one, I had a lot of strong feeling for, and anyway, so good. So I think we both agree on the value of this episode, and it was nice. And that leads us to next time into station residents suddenly find their imaginations are manifested in physical form. A spatial rift threatens to destroy the Bajoran system in If Wishes Were Horses. Do you remember this one?
I don't, but it sounds familiar. So.
Well, I'll warn you, if you don't like child actors,
oh boy,
you get a little bit of that.
Suspend disbelief a bit
more
and
than
just
usual.
go with it. Okay,
go with it as best you can. So that will be coming up. Don't forget that we are looking. There's still time for you to get on iTunes and review the show. If we can get 8 or so more 3 to 5 star reviews, Captain Christopher here will create a T-shirt that we'll start giving away, and we'll create a Facebook community for everybody who likes the show. All 3 of you, and so get your friends to write an interview or write an iTunes review. That'd be great. And don't forget, let us know what you're thinking about the show, and please share information about the show. We're on the Twitter at Umox Podcast. So do us a favor. Every time an episode comes out, if you're on the Twitter, we tweet about it and we pin it to the top of our profile for that week. If you are following us on Twitter and like our show, just retweet it, please. Just say, hey. You don't even have to say anything. Just retweet the tweet. If you want to quote the tweet and then say, hey, I like this show, that'd be even better. But that would be great. That plus a review on iTunes would be super great. Anything else before we call it a night, my friend?
No, that's it. And yeah, for those who do listen, thank you. But highly encourage you. I'll try and sketch out maybe some general look of a shirt. Maybe we could try and get that up on the Twitter as
I'd
well.
like that. That'd be good.
That way you could at least get an idea of what you'd be emblazoned with if you if got one of those shirts.
It's just going to be a couple of big lobes.
Maybe.
Could be. That'd be
Maybe.
good.
Being off of a truck's trailer hitch.
That would be interesting. All right. Until next time, he's
John Christopher, and he is
Simon Van Gelder. And until we meet again, the docking ring is closed.